home. A simple word. But for an athlete, home can mean so much more than a place on a map. It can be routine, it can be support, it can be a sense of belonging. In this video, we're going to explore how our sense of home through place, routine, and support shapes the confidence and performance of athletes. We'll look at professionals and younger athletes and ask, when you play away, what do you give up? What must you adjust to? And how does that impact your performance? So let's begin with the place, not only the geographical location, but the physical field, the stadium, and the crowd. For the Seattle Seahawks, their home place has become legendary. Their fans, once referred to as the 12th man, now called the 12s, are considered one of the biggest advantages in the NFL, the National Football League. The reasoning is simple. A loud, rowdy, familiar home crowd creates a kind of comfort for the home team and confusion for the visiting team. Here's a striking example. At their home stadium, the crowd's decibels once reached 137.6. Because of the design of the stadium, deck positioning, and a partial roof, and the fervor of the fans, opponents have been known to commit many false start penalties simply because they couldn't hear the snap count. So, the home field advantage is not just about playing in your home city, it's about also how your home field is built, how the fans react, and how comfortable the players are in that space. Now let's look at routine. An athlete who plays at home often has a regular sleep schedule, a familiar locker room, the same warm-up field, the same tunnel walk, and the same crowd noise, all of which form comfort. That comfort can translate into confidence, fewer distractions, less uncertainty, and more focus. Across sports, research shows home teams win significantly more than 50% of their games. Certain analyses have found that the average home team win rate to be around 60%. Now contrast that with when you travel away. Your accommodations change, food may change, you arrive the night before in a brand new or unfamiliar place. The locker room is unfamiliar, the crowd is hostile or silent. These changes can disrupt routine and confidence. For younger athletes, say a high school player who trains in their hometown field, the difference is perhaps smaller in scale but identical in principle. Comfort versus adjustment, known versus unknown. I know for myself, whenever I was a kid, whenever I played away from my home field, there was always a sense of something missing, and this came from being unfamiliar with where I was. And finally, support. The people who back you, the environment that says you belong here. If you know you have people that support you watching and are close by, it can make unfamiliar places feel like home. One example I have seen is professional pitcher Brayan Bello of the Boston Red Sox. His manager, Alex Cora, has explicitly credited part of Bello's improved performance to having his wife and kids stateside with him. Previously, Bello was playing in the United States while his wife and kid were in the Dominican Republic, but when they were allowed to come to the United States, he started to play better. This is a clear example of how home isn't only about location, but it's about the people. When athletes feel their support network is present or in mind, they carry less extra physiological weight. They can focus purely on performance. When that family support is absent, it can affect concentration, emotional stability, and thus performance. For younger athletes, having family come to games or having your local community know you and back you builds a sense of, I belong here. That sense fosters confidence. I know that whenever I look up to the stands and saw my mom and dad cheering me on, I always knew that no matter my performance, I'd have someone supporting me. Now we'll combine these ideas and examine what athletes must give up or adjust to when they're away from their home environment. One thing is loss of place familiarity. The stadium might be similar, but the smell of the locker room, the way the turf feels, the lighting, all of these shift when you're away. You're also going to have disruptions in your routine. Travel means changed bedtimes, different food, and less time for pregame rituals. And finally, your support is going to be shifted. The crowd may be against you or neutral, but your family may not travel and your local community vibe may be missing. For example, back to the Seahawks. One article noted that their once formidable home advantage has waned in recent years. It's not just the place changed, but that routine and support dynamics changed. Opposing fans traveling, ticket trends shifting, the team's performance shifting. For younger athletes too, when they travel for tournaments, the home comforts are gone. That means part of what made them confident is absent, and a successful athlete must find ways to replicate or adapt these comforts. Let's return to our guiding question. How does a sense of home through place, routine, and support shape the confidence and performance of athletes? Well, first, place gives familiarity. The stadium, field, locker room, even the smell of the turf or the echoes in the stands reminds athletes of what home is to them. Routine gives comfort. The known warm-up, travel rhythm, pre-game habits all ensure the athlete is prepared for competitions. And support gives belonging. The backing of family, fans, community rituals allows the athlete to feel support no matter where they may be. When all three are present, athletes often feel anchored, confident, and ready to perform. When one or more is missing, perhaps the routine is disrupted, the support is absent, or the play is unfamiliar, then performance can suffer through subtle psychological drift, which means less confidence and less comfort. This is where adjustments need to be made. So how can the athletes make adjustments when in unfamiliar places? Well, professional coaches and athletes can proactively build home even when they're away. Bring in familiar rituals, have family video calls, maintain warm-up patterns, simulate fan noise, and arrive early to adjust. Younger athletes especially can benefit from routines that travel, the same pregame mantra, the same team handshake, or the same gear ritual. For both professional and younger athletes, having your family in attendance if possible ensures that you always feel supported and always brings a sense of home with you. Now to bring this all together. For professional athletes like Seahawks or Brian Bayo, the scale is larger, the crowd's bigger, the routine's more established, but the principle holds. Home matters. For younger athletes, the home field might be the backyard, the local playing field, the school gym. The routines might be simpler, but the sense of comfort and support is no less important. So when you ask, how does a sense of home shape confidence and performance? The answer is simple. By giving athletes a foundation from which they step into competition feeling safe, anchored, and belonging, whether that involves place, routine, or support. And when they step away from home into unfamiliar places, alter routines, less support, they must rebuild that foundation or compensate. That adjustment becomes part of the performance challenge. Overall, a feeling of home does not just come from where you play, but rather how you implement your routine and feel supported no matter where you may be. Thank you for watching.
After just watching this video, I just wanted to add a few ways for you guys to expand on this question and to learn more. One way to further explore home field advantage is to show how it can have an impact on referees. This is often criticized and definitely be explored. Another way to expand on this question is looking into the history of home field advantage. Some teams are historically good at their home field, and you can certainly look into reasons why. Some specific resources I recommend you to look at to really show why home field advantage even exists in the first place can be looking at specific areas around the world. Specifically, the altitude advantage in Denver, as well as the crowds of European soccer, can really show how home field advantage affects place, routine, and support. Simply go out there and do a simple Google search, and what you will find on home field advantage will be endless.